Look, I know that this list is pretty predictable, but I still made it for the sake of finishing up the rest of the difficult stars in Mario Galaxy 2. And besides, I think you will be surprised by my choices for the star placements. Also, to anyone who haven't seen the Green Stars video, I'll be ranking these stars based on how much skill is required to get them and my personal attempts at said stars. So without anything else to say, let's get started. Number 10. First up are the Silver Stars in Stone Cyclone Galaxy, which is one of the special world stages and sped up version of the original Sea Cavern Star in the first game, so you know it can get pretty difficult. But really the only thing getting in the way are the speedy tox boxes and thwomps, which you can slow down by ground pounding these blue switches all around the level, if you would call it that. And for me, the Silver Stars aren't in as difficult spots as the Green Stars beforehand, which is also why it is this low on the list. But still, I can see why some people struggle with this star. Number 9. Alright, here's an actual difficult star. This is Squizzard's Daredevil run in Slipsand Galaxy. Now there are a lot of things that makes this Daredevil star difficult. Firstly is the obvious fact that you only have one hit point to beat this boss, and there are mostly quicksand around you that can even drag you towards Squizzard. Also, having to avoid sandballs, spikes, and literal bombs makes this boss a challenging one. But it is only lower because if you are really good at the game, you could possibly beat this boss first try. But at the same time, if you play this star after a while and not playing the game, it could be a chore to do. Number 8. Now, you all are familiar with the Luigi Purple Coin comment in the first game, right? And how difficult it really was. Well, this star is basically a mild version of the original star in Mario Squared Galaxy, but that still doesn't mean it is any less difficult. For one, the instant kill Dark Matter is back, so are the disappearing platforms, and the timer is a bit different, but still there. But the two differences is the yellow solid platforms replaced the yellow flipping platforms, and Shadow Mario chases you throughout the entire level, which is the reason this star is a bit higher than the previous two entries. But if you plan your route, this star isn't that bad. In fact, it makes the star much easier if you do plan out, so at least you can get better at thinking ahead with playing the star. Number 7. Are you ready to fight every boss from the original Mario Galaxy game? Because we are in Boss Blitz Galaxy on Throwback Throwdown, but on a timer. Yeah, you really gotta pick up the pace because the game ain't fooling around. What makes this star hard is that it is 5 bosses you have to deal with and not just one. While some of these bosses are pretty easy to deal with if you played the first game, but it is the Fire Dino Piranha that is the big challenge. He is basically an enhanced version of the original Dino Piranha, but with fire in space, which could be a disaster, and yet it is. Avoiding his fireballs and staying alive and getting out of his way is just a hassle. But at least this star is only lower because the other bosses aren't as difficult and the time is fair, so there's that. Number 6. Oh, you want this star? Well, you have to complete the Masterpiece Speed Run in Rolling Masterpiece Galaxy to get it, which you are going to need a lot of training with motion controls in order to achieve it. This star will really start to make you mad, as you have to be steady on a ball only using motion controls in order not to fall. While not running out of time, just the thought of being on a timer makes you worry, and possibly mess up if you rush through the stage. So you really need to plan out what you're going to do to make sure you get to the end with enough time. However, if you are patient and are really good with motion controls, you can probably beat this star with no problem. But it can still be pretty hard even if you are somewhat good with using motion controls. Number 5. I know you were expecting the star. The purple coins on the Rainbow Road are a bother to get, especially since you have to use motion controls, which is a challenge on its own. What makes getting the purple coins difficult is the motion controls, of course, and the slopes on the slide itself. And if you miss a big row of coins, you have to start all over. But I personally mastered the game so well that I actually got all the purple coins on the level. So it is possible to get them all, but you need to master motion controls in order to achieve it. Number 4. Okay, our first and only Bowser level. This is the Boomsdal Machine Daredevil run, and for the first part, it is the same level. But for some reason, there is this big purple instant kill goo section where you have to aim good at the moving bullseye in order to progress. But then you are on this moving platform with these goo humps in the way, and you have to try and avoid them. At least the game gives you a checkpoint flag for the boss. And for the boss, it is the same except for the one hit point, of course. So for the most part, it is the same level, with only one sliver of hell. But just that one goo section raised the difficulty a lot. Number 3. Listen, you are probably confused about why this star in Sky Station Galaxy is so high, and the reason is that you aren't given enough time, and the extra clocks are basically required to be collected, since if you miss one, you start all over from the beginning, and the timer makes Pee-wee Piranha pretty hard too to defeat, because you are so worried about the time, and even for a skilled player like myself, it took me more than 2 attempts to beat the star. And because I am ranking these stars for the amount of skill it takes, this is the reason this star is so high on the list. Number 2. Now, Cosmic Clones in the Chomp Works is probably the most annoying and most difficult star I have ever gotten in the entire game. And the reason is simple. There are clones after clones after clones after clones trying to mess you up. And since you are focusing on getting this golden chomp over to the hole, you aren't really trying to get the cosmic clones out of your way. And if you do try to get them out of your way, good luck getting back to the golden chomp in time. I really hate this star for how annoying and hard it is to complete. But the next star on this list is the reason this list is so predictable to the point that just seeing the title means you immediately know what is number 1. Number 1. Is anyone really surprised? I mean, the perfect run is the final challenge in the game. And I'm pretty sure everyone who played this game knows how difficult it is. But I'll just give you a recap on the star. You have 1 hit point, there are no checkpoints, the level is about 6 sections long, and finally the amount of stuff happening and trying to avoid all of this is just madness. So anyone who knows what this game is can easily say that this star is in fact the hardest star in Super Mario Galaxy 2. But since I talked about the perfect run, I am actually thinking about making a video of me trying to beat this star on my first try. So if you guys would like to see it, let me know. But for now, thanks for watching, and I hope you are excited about my upcoming list on the hardest stars in Super Mario Galaxy. Have a good day!